Hi, Soul Family, Caitlin again. Okay, I wanted to share another story. And this is for anyone who might have come out of a very deceptive situation. I'm talking about psychopathic, where you've had to learn how to read between the lines so good that, let's say if someone, okay, unfortunately, if you're put in a situation like this, there are times when your mind has to automatically translate what does the psychopath mean. So they're saying one thing, but it actually means something else. So it's like this weird language that kind of goes on. It's an inversion that happens in your mind automatically when you unfortunately become accustomed to psychopaths. And I found that this happened a long time ago to me. And it's not a coping mechanism. It's not distorting anything. It's literally translating what they're saying, because you've learned to see through the mask, right? See through the veneer. Why do I bring up psychopaths? Well, because in our society, it's very psychopathic, right? And this is again why I love Hinduism. It saved me on so many levels, and it was the only thing that explained what I was going through. And India does, although it's, there's Western influence, the base culture of India is not from that Western, greedy, narcissistic mindset, right? That's why it's so beautiful. But anyway, I'm sharing this. So I shared a video earlier, my last video, about understanding intuition in your body, okay? Now, I shared that video because I had just spoken with someone who, by the way, in business, the place I've spiraled before in my mind, when I say spiral, I mean feeling confused in things, has only been in relationships where there's been clear and consistent behavior. So I saw behavior from someone that immediately flipped this spiral because I was like, I see this. That's a no. It's a deal breaker, right? It's non-negotiable. But then the way she handled the going back and forth sent me into a spiral even more. And it caused me to really go back and forth. And what was happening was, I noticed the dopamine in my brain was triggered just by her saying, oh, I understand, no problem, right? And I noticed my dopamine center got addicted to that. And I immediately was like, let's forget it, it's fine, right? Bypassed my intuition, bypassed my body. And I just want to say that's a real thing. If you have been surrounded by people your whole life who have not been empathetic, you can become addicted to empathy. And it can lead you to make really bad decisions. It can really, by the way, let me take away the word bad. I actually don't believe in good and bad, okay? Because life is what you make it. As creator, everything works for your highest good. You can transmute a situation like that. So let me start with that, okay? But the other thing is, where was I going with that? I was saying about, if you notice that your mind is going back and forth, it's often because there was a pattern of behavior that triggered that, meaning there was a psychological thing that happened in your brain that was actually a logical response to a behavior that was psychopathic. Psychopathic it's not with a knife, okay? Psychopathic is just, listen, we agreed on something, now you're going back and doing something. There's a deceptive behavior to it. There's a deceptive connotation here. Something's off, right? And what's psychopathic, I believe, is when your body is telling you something and we can rationalize ourselves. In society, we're taught to rationalize our feelings, to rationalize ourselves out of the intuition, to rationalize yourself out of a nervous system response. That's the psychopathy, because our body knows all things. And again, devil energy in the tarot card, when our mind, logic, devil energy, can rationalize things out, we're actually cutting ourselves off from our body. We're distorting our energetic field. We are creating chaos within our field. We've lost unison with our alignment, okay? we've interrupted the coherence. We're sending static, okay? And that creates chaos. So naturally, it creates chaos in the brain. If you follow that energetic principle, that's literally all that's happening. It's, okay, there's a receptor, we have receptors, invisible receptors, for these behaviors that don't align with frequencies. And I noticed I couldn't put my finger on it, and I'm so glad I couldn't, because I realized, like, why was I so perturbed by this behavior? Like, it's not like anything was quote unquote bad out of sight, right? Like, just on face value. And I realized my body was detecting things, and my vibration was no longer resonating with things that I would used to accept. So, like, hallelujah, hallelujah. And then I reached out again, and I had realized I had absolutely texted this person so much back and forth, and it's an embarrassing thing. But at the same time, I had to keep voicing my truth to override what was going on and keep her on my page. So what I've also found, I call this the Kali effect, by the way. I've also found in my life that is a protective measure. I do believe this. When we spiral like that and we go back and forth and we push people away, I call it the Kali effect, because Kali will cut the heads off of our demons. Like, it'll repel people that aren't not meant for us. So I just want to say, if there's any times where you've been triggered or something, or you've quote unquote spiraled, you don't have to be afraid of repelling anyone, because it's only going to push away the people who aren't meant to be in your life. So just sit with that, okay? So in this video, let's recap. Be careful if you have a dopamine receptor here, if you've not grown up with empathy, you can easily become addicted to the empathy, to any small amount of, oh, that's okay, oh, I understand, oh, no worries. And I found that's also can lead you to accepting breadcrumbs in a relationship, because you just so badly, you want to hear that, it's okay, I understand, right? Next thing, your intuition. Well, watch my last video if you didn't. But the intuition, like our bodies, we know our coherence will resonate really strong in the sacral, solar plexus, and heart. If you feel a pull and hear your solar plexus or your sacral, pay attention. It's an intuitive nudge, okay? That's your invisible detective system. And what else? I think that's it. I just, don't be afraid of people calling you crazy, because in a world that lives by people disowning their spiritual bodies, coming completely into the logical mind, and rationalizing everything, they're losing presence and they're losing sense of self. And if you've gotten out of that, if you've awakened and you're on my channel, you've gotten out of that, you should be damn proud of yourself. And it means you've uncivilized yourself. Congratulations, you've uncivilized yourself. So just remember that and trust yourself, and you don't need time to make decisions, and you don't need to think about decisions. Your body tells you everything. So listen to your body, trust your body. You don't need to think about anything. Our minds are functional minds to focus on tasks, but our bodies actually make the decisions for us. So just listen to your nervous system. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. See you in the next one.